everybody, welcome to my channel. Everything I say is alleged, my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into this review of Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 13. I'm not acting crazy with you tonight. So we're going to start out with Clint and Gina. Clint takes Gina to a soccer field, to show him what he did in his childhood. He played soccer. He said soccer taught him perseverance, life, and persistence, and gave him drive and motivation. He said because he had to work so hard to learn the sport, all of those things contributed to who he is now. Gina said they shared that same thing, which is the spirit of not giving up, and makes her think the marriage can work between her and Clint. So Gina takes Clint to her hair school, which she said was a life-changing thing for her. She said she was actually in college. She was a totally different person before she came to hair school. She went to school for broadcasting. Clint said Gina has the risk-taking qualities that he likes, and it reminds him of himself. Gina says she's having some of her hairstylists come over from the business to get to know Clint. They give Gina her flowers and basically say that she's a great boss and it's a great place to work. But for me, they didn't even ask Clint any questions to really get to know him. I mean, unless they did that off camera, they edited it out, but it wasn't in this scene. And for Clint and Gina, they didn't really have this much story on this episode. But the good thing is that they seem to be getting along and working through the process to make the marriage work. Let's move on to Shaquille and Kirsten. So Kirsten invites Shaquille to her element, which is her being a real estate agent. She invites him to this nice, fabulous house. It was a really nice house. Shaquille said to see Kirsten be so passionate and loving about what she do. It says she looks sexy and he loves it. Kirsten said she can see them living there. Shaquille said yes, he can see them living there, and he could also hear footsteps running all over the house, and they could have game night, movie night. And Kirsten joins in and says she could see that, and she said she would enjoy that. Kirsten wants Shaquille to buy her a house. Shaquille looking at her like she crazy, okay? And in my mind, I'm like, girl, in this world we living in now, Shaquille is going to need you to contribute, okay, to that down payment and help with the mortgage too and them bills, okay? I think the house was $2.something million. Like, girl, okay. Shaquille was basically like, he wanted to be in a financial situation or financially stable where he could afford something like that. So Kirsten is coming off as gold diggerish because she actually said this is her, okay? Shaquille, on the other hand, is stuck on her saying buying me a house and not we. So Kirsten takes Shaquille to the house that she grew up in before her mom and dad split up. Kirsten brings her dad up and said he was the rock of the family and gave them everything. Kirsten said that her dad is the reason that she put so much expectations on Shaquille. And Shaquille said, I understand, but need to do it on his own and at his own pace. So Kirsten says she is hesitant about bringing Shaquille around her dad. She wants to make sure he's going to be around for a lifetime. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how you going to know that. You will know because tomorrow, tomorrow is not promised. If you are feeling him and it feels right, you need to go with the flow. So we found out that her dad is hesitant to meet Shaquille because he's not happy about Kirsten getting married on this show and not dating first. Shaquille said he's going to take notes when he do meet the dad. Shaquille needs to have a conversation with the dad to see why Kirsten do what she do. Shaquille said he is a family man. And then eventually he invites his godmother and his godsister, to show Kirsten. Kirsten finds out that Shaquille is very family oriented and keeps the family together. Kirsten once asked the godmother, with Shaquille having a lot to do, how will it show up in their marriage? And the godmother and the god sister said that she needs to be present. They said Shaquille will take care of her, so she needs to make sure that she takes care of him. So later on in the evening, Kirsten and Shaquille, Eris and Jasmine go out to an airsoft place. It's the ladies against the guys. Shaquille wants them to get active and outside of talking about their feelings. And I agree. Sometimes you got to break from, your feelings and being in your feelings and things like that. Anyway, the ladies end up slaughtering them. Go girls. Anyway, Kirsten and Eris go off to talk. Kirsten said, the attraction is growing. She said things are getting better, but communication is off sometimes with them. She said that they'll be saying the same thing, but in their own way. And I don't recall them showing Eris saying anything about his marriage. And I rewinded it, and he didn't say anything about him and Jasmine's marriage. So Shaquille and Jasmine, they're talking. Jasmine said that no matter how Eris is feeling about the marriage, she want to stay true to her feelings. So Shaquille asks her, what does Jasmine want in the marriage? He said, as a black queen, this is what I want out of this marriage, and either you're going to be in it or you're not going to be in it. He lets her know that she is beautiful inside and out. And before he said that, he prefaced it with, I do have a wife and I don't want you to think I'm coming on to you, which was, I feel, pretty respectful. So she wouldn't take it the wrong way. So Shaquille said it's day by day. He said he feel like Kirsten has so many expectations on him because of her dad, and her dad being, the man of the house, the rock of the family. So Jasmine asked him, has Shaquille met the dad yet? And we find out that it bothers him that he has not met her father yet. That's interesting. Anyway, Shaquille and Kirsten enjoyed their time out with Jasmine and Eris. So they get back home and they are talking about Kirsten's expectations and wanting Shaquille to buy a house and a car. Shaquille wants to have a conversation and Kirsten wants to eat her salad. She was tearing that salad up. Do you hear me? Kirsten says she was joking about the house and the car thing. Shaquille is looking at her expectation and thinks she is serious. But now Kirsten is saying she is joking and don't want Shaquille to take it so seriously. Shaquille is basically concerned that Kirsten said, you're going to buy me a house and not we, okay? My thing is, I do feel like their communication is off and they're not really listening to each other. But hopefully they end up getting it together. Kirsten was smiling when she said Shaquille should buy her house. She was smiling in that scene, so I don't know. I feel they have not figured out each other's joking sides or, how they really communicate. Maybe they need a little therapy or get them doggone experts to help y'all out on getting to understand each other when y'all talking. Because sometimes y'all be saying the same thing, but in your own way. So we're going to move on to Nicole and Chris. Nicole said she needed attention because she got a lot of attention from her parents when she was younger. So when she wanted to be independent and she found herself lying to her parents. When she wanted to be independent, she found herself lying to her parents, cutting school. And Chris said that he would not marry the old Nicole because it reminds him of his ex-girlfriends. Nicole said that she wants to know everything. She wants Chris to know everything about her so that he could make an informed decision on decision day. I think that's big of Nicole because a lot of people would just ride the wave and give info on a need-to-know basis. So for her to put her stuff out there like that is a great thing for their marriage. And then they have the letters to their younger self. Chris said in his letter, basically, he wants to be the person that speaks up for himself. And he also brought up how he would have told his mom about her abusive boyfriend. Nicole, she said people taking advantage of her and that she is worthy. She said her first relationship broke her. She said she will take all of the happy days with Chris if it means she will get her heart broken. Because they talked about, being heartbroken. So Chris takes Nicole to a paint store because his dad owned a paint store and he had to work there. He said his relationship is strained with his dad and he wasn't the best role model, and made him realize that he wanted to be the man that his dad wasn't. Nicole says she gets why he wants to make everyone happy, because he does not want to disappoint people. Chris said his relationship is better with his dad because of his dog. Now, y'all know Chris loves his doggone dog, so he needed his dad, and his dad was the only person who could watch his dog, Coda. So he gained trust in his dad because his dad treated his dog very well. And, that was it. That was the start of their relationship becoming better. So Nicole is letting her guard down with Chris. Normally she's cautious of nice people because in her past, nice people turned out to be not so nice. And Chris took that out of her DNA. Nicole and Chris are painting and role playing. They doing different accents and stuff. And then that was the end of their scene. They was creating a moment, to get to know each other. So let's move on to Jasmine and Eris. So Jasmine and her friend comes over. Her friend is married. Jasmine said the feelings that she had on her wedding day are fading. In her marriage, she feels like they are compatible, but he is going to have to put in more work. So Eris takes Jasmine down to a pawn shop where he collected baseball cards as a kid because he didn't have any friends, and card collecting helped him make friends. Eris is hoping that this will get Jasmine to open up the more that he shares with her. Eris lets Jasmine know that his therapist connected that him moving around so much as a child carry over into his adulthood and keeps him from being stable. He would get up and go even in relationships. I could see that. He didn't want to get close to nobody, and as soon as he felt like he was getting close, he'll run, okay? Anyway, that shut Jasmine down. She wasn't going to say much after that. For me, I feel like this is something else added. First, you're not attracted to her, and now you're telling her that if you ain't feeling it, you're going to get up and run. Okay. He's a runner. He's a drag star. Anyway, Jasmine wants to open up, but is scared about, Eris's willingness to see the marriage through. And I could feel her on this. So they had their letters to their younger self. For Eris, he said he felt alone, confused, and forgive his father for passing away, and is learning how to cherish the memories that they did have. He said it's safe to talk about your feelings, and as a black boy, he wants his younger self to know that he will travel and see other cultures. And he said he loves his mother and that she's like a superhero. So Jasmine said in her letter to her younger self that she didn't feel valued or self-worth. She said she had so much light at 9 years old, and the work that she do turned into her passion later on in life. So not to worry, to her youngest self. So Eris is ready to open up and hopes that Jasmine does as well. So at bedtime, Eris shares a letter that his dad wrote to his mom. That was a nice letter. Basically with the father saying he wants to be in his son's life, and, he's getting it together to be a family with them. He says to open up more to Jasmine with hopes that she will open up, but he notices that, she likes those type of things. And I get that she likes those type of things, but she's still holding back. And she said it though, she don't really like conflict. So anyway, that was it. So anyway, that was all for Married at First Sight. Decision day is approaching. I made my predictions before, the show started, or after the marriages. I made my predictions. So I'm curious to see who's going to stay together and who's not going to stay together. Anyway, that's all I got. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.